Hello, welcome back to my channel. Just a quick book chat today. I'm going to be talking about Death in the Family by Tessa Wegert. Yeah, I just read this, finished this a couple weeks ago, I think. And it's been a few people talking about it on BookTube, but not a ton. I think this came out early, the start of the year or late last year. But yeah, I just thought I very much enjoyed this book, but just there's a couple of things to mention. I think the first thing is in explaining what this book is, it's kind of important to explain what this book isn't. And I know people have been comparing it to Agatha Christie, and I noticed even on the book blurb on one of the recommendations on it, not the blurb, but the one of the recommendations by a reader mentions Agatha Christie. It's not an Agatha Christie. It's not an Agatha Christie book. It's not someone deliberately writing in the style of Agatha Christie or an Agatha Christie style novel. I mean, one could argue that every modern crime writer is influenced by Agatha Christie because she's one of the best from the golden age, and so everything is thus kind of influenced through that. But it's not like in the case of Lucy Foley's The Guest List, which was very much written with Agatha Christie in mind. I haven't seen any interviews with Tessa Wegert, but I don't believe that she specifically had Agatha Christie in mind when she wrote this. It's not even a locked room mystery. It's people saying it's a locked room mystery. It's really not. And I don't think it is anyway in my regards, because usually in a locked room mystery, the room is locked for a start, and usually there isn't anyone in the room, and also there's often not an obvious or easily explained opportunity for the murderer or any suspect to gain access to the room to commit the murder. That's not the case in this. What this book is, though, is it's I guess, what would you explain, like a trap? It's a trapped scenario. So basically, the crime, which is possibly it's phoned in as murder, but it could also be a missing person because there's no body. There's just a woman wakes up in bed with a lot of blood and her partner missing, and it's they're at their family. It's a family retreat, family gathering in their island in the Thousand Islands. So it's private. It's a private island, the Thousand Islands. It's the kind of start of fall, and there's a northeaster hitting, and so our two protagonists, one of which is telling us it's a first person narrative. They just make it in before the weather really closes, and then no, their backup, the rest of the team can't make it, and they're basically stuck on their own with, I think, about 13 people maybe, and at least one of them is a killer, and they think it's a killer because there's no body. So there is debate as to whether it's a missing persons case or a murder, and that's actually a bit of a point in the story. But the crime, it is one of those crime books that it's not, the crime isn't the central point, I don't think. It's a framing mechanism to talk about other things, and I think that Tessa did a really good job of making this into like it's kind of like psychological, in the sense that our protagonist is going through a lot of issues, and there's a lot of kind of flashbacks to an event that happened 13 months ago that was very, very influential in her life, and there's a lot of kind of understanding her own truth, not really there's a lot of her actually doubting what is actually going on. definitely experiencing PTSD, and then there's also she's having trust issues, both with her partner and with her husband. It's a very good, because it's a first person narrative. I think it's done a very good job of kind of getting in the head of what that could possibly be like, whilst also being in a stressful situation, stressful job, an important job with a lot of responsibility. Yeah, so I really liked this book. It's definitely setting up for the next one in the series. It's definitely very much a book in a series. It's the debut. It's the first one, but it's not done the thing that often debut series fiction does, where it's just could really read it as a standalone. I think it's hard for me to recommend this book or even pass a full judgment on it until then at least the next one comes out, because I think the next one's going to wrap up a lot of the backstory that's hinted at and kind of explained but not fully, and a lot of the points that it's going to make. But I really like where she was going. I really like the psychological elements of not necessarily of like the whole book and the crime, but just of actually just her and working through that, and as even judgments of whether she should even be working as a police officer, as an investigator anymore, which I really liked. It's quite a good study of that, and yeah, it's very much of place and this one's about family as well. Who is your family? What is family? Yeah, it's very good characters. The characters are all quite good and unique, and the crime itself, it was definitely, I know a lot of people like it where it's the conclusion was good. The conclusion was it didn't come out of left field. It didn't just suddenly appear out of nowhere. It didn't suddenly like bring a character. Oh, there was this other character here the whole time. Yeah, it made sense. It served its purpose. It didn't take away from the rest of the kind of points that they were making. It was still very much centered on family and place. And I also really like that it's set in the Thousand Islands, which is just about 30 kilometers away from where I am now. So it's a place that I know. It mentions places that I know. I think the islands might be fictional, but it definitely mentions real islands, and it's not super bogged down in it though. So if you don't know anything about the Thousand Islands, you're not going to miss out. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the next one's going to be set in Vermont, which will be really good too. I've never been to Vermont, but I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff, and it's not that dissimilar to southern Quebec too. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing the next one. And like I said, it's hard to recommend right now, but definitely, if you're willing to put in the effort of definitely reading at least 2 books in the series, then yeah, go out and read this one now, or either that, wait until the end of the year and start next year and see if the second one's worth it, and then you probably might get a lot more recommendations to read them both. I think, yeah, I'm kind of reserving full judgment on it until the second book comes out. But other than that, I'm quite excited. It's definitely a new author that I want to look out for. And it's first time in a while that I'm kind of like excited for a new book. And I've kind of fell off looking at new releases the past kind of 5 years. So yeah, that was Death in the Family by Tessa Wegert. It's published by Berkeley, which I believe is an imprint of somebody like Penguin. Yeah, imprint of Penguin. That's Berkeley Graham. So yeah, Tessa Wegert, Death in the Family. Very much enjoyed.